What is up guys, Kane here, and in this video we're going to talk a little about the lucky wheel. Now, first things first, you will notice immediately that I have gotten the skin, and we will go around that in just a bit as well. The reason for this video is more or less to talk whether or not it's worth to spend a lot of Linari on this, and I don't mean the people who are spending a lot of money, but rather the people who are playing the game as small spenders or free to play. So, looking at the rewards that you're able to get, essentially you have the skin in the top left, then you have some materials, right? And then you have this lucky equipment chest, which gives you a flawless Drake type of equipment. Now, not many will know what it does until they receive at least one piece, or they already know what they do. So, let me find one of them. So, what they do is they give a bonus to the hero, or let's say the hero will give a bonus to your army or stuff like that on a 2-piece of the set. And as you can see, I have all 3 pieces, but only one of them is flawless. And the third piece will add all ability levels +1. So if I'm playing Rakan, having a general set on, let's say, Talk will prove quite good, because there is no item to increase the Tortoise Mastery to 10 as far as I know, and there is no equipment for the heavyweight either. But I can be mistaken, but for Rakans, the turtle is very important, and the heavyweight is also important because it increases the duration of the ale effects, and the ale effect is what made the Rakan quite strong. So as you can see, quite a lot of the skills are leveled, and they make, let's say, this hero provide a lot more for the field. Now, at the moment, I think there are 4 or 5 type of sets, so there are many possibilities that you can do, but I think the best ones are for the generals and then the rogues, because if you add a set for, let's say, Basric, he will start to become a pretty decent damage dealer on your field. If you get, let's say, a general set or stuff like that, then your field will start to perform more depending on who you put. Your heroes will have more stats, all of the skills that you have will be upgraded, and so on and so forth. So as you can see here, critical hit damage 70%. When hits score critical hits, the target takes bonus physical damage, all hero ability levels +1. And now as you can see, the first 2 passive attacks are level 10, Bad Blitz 5, Vampire Bats 5. So this equipment set makes Basri quite strong. So these are one of the things why it would be better to play this event. Then, yeah, of course you have the Runestones, but the Runestones, you're eventually going to get enough of the Runestones anyway, so if you would play this lucky wheel just for the Runestones, it only would be very efficient for the very, very early game. Other than that, they don't really pose that much of stats or pose that much of effectiveness for their own cause. They're just little bits and pieces that increase overall of your stats, hero stats, army stats, and so on. Of course, there are a few temples that you must get +5 as quick as possible to benefit from them as soon as possible. So there is that thing, but other than that, it's just how can I say, that whole feature costs too much for what it will give you, so it's not really that beneficial to just play for the lucky Runestones. Then you have some Prism stuff, and you have the newly added relic chests and the theurgic shards. Now, currently, since, as I've said in a previous video, this feature is quite new, so getting those theurgic shards will add a lot, and I do mean a lot of stats for your dragon, your army, your heroes, and so on. So currently that would make it quite decent, because this pops up quite often, and it can be 2x, 5x, I think even 10x. So I think I've gotten a 10x of this once because I had like 400,000 30 shards in like 91 attempts. Of course, I've gotten like 200,000 from this, so yeah. So yeah, it's quite good comparing to these. Then again, Runestones, then you have like Technology Rush. It's good, but this doesn't proc very often. Then again, Runestones, Prism stuff, Divine Equipment, which is probably the worst thing in this lucky wheel that you could ask for because it is random. So if you get this, you can be wow, happy and like ecstatic or whatever since it's a low percentage. And then you get something like 3 resources or like 3 dungeon materials or whatever, which is probably the worst equipment that you can receive. Then you have Divine Dragon Egg, which is not really that important. I mean, it depends if you have a Divine Dragon or not, but most of them are not really that good. And you have a very low chance to get one with Hero Predation, and even if you do, that Hero Predation is like taken out with like 75% chance or something, because I lost 25 dragons in first skill rotation, so I wouldn't play it for the dragon, then again runes, and then you have the skin. So, the skin is not very important for most early to probably late game players. The reason for that is most of these skins will add you something like a health percentage for your hero. Let me just check. So yeah, it says here own damage and max health 10%, Balrog. I think I have one more skin. Let's see. So I have Virion, its own health 10%. I also have Tadrin and its health 10%. So most of these buffs are almost irrelevant to you, and even this 10% will add only just a I don't know, 50,000 health at the moment, maybe, to my Virion, and he has like 1 million. And it's not going to make him insanely overpowered or insanely tanky, so merely the skin is just new visuals, new effects, and all that kind of stuff. However, for the late game, that one skin can add like 400,000 health, maybe up to 1 million, depending on who you're using it or who you're getting it for, because there's a lot of buffs and a lot of stuff that goes into that. So the thing is, the rewards in here for drawing a specific amount are also good. So for example, draw 80 gives 200,000 Thurgic shards, and you can only get 35,000 per day, so that's like 7 days worth. I mean, you shouldn't pull 80 just for this, but this as a side reward is quite good because you're going to spend Linari and receive a multitude of other things. Pulling to 60 will give you some special artifact materials, which I will also go through quickly in just a bit. Pulling to 40 will give you 10 relic chests, which, depending on your luck, it can be extremely good and it can be extremely bad. And then you have, again, advanced artifact materials, which are kind of important. Then you have draw 10, a special artifact. So getting this draw 10 is quite important for most of the lucky wheels, because this is a paid artifact rather. So you're going on a rotation per lucky wheel, and it will have one paid artifact in each one of them. They have a specific rotation and they won't be consecutive, or they won't reappear before I think the full rotation finishes. So it's kind of a reason why I didn't spend 20 bucks on all of these paid artifacts, because eventually you're just going to get them for free. It just depends how long you're going to play. So in terms of this, pulling 2 plus 10 is important, 2 plus 20, I believe they had a flawless item before, and on new servers it was quite important, and now it only has 12 hours rush, so it's quite good, but I wouldn't say it's worth 2000 Linari. At least in the mid-game stages of the game, where I already need like 30 days for just, you know, one castle level or whatever. However, these materials for advanced artifacts are very, very important. So, going back to my heroes, I'm unsure of which and where I have put that. So, yeah. So, the Sky Totem, right? And why did I point this artifact first? So, what this artifact does is it makes your PvE content quite a lot better. And by PvE, I mean stuff like events, stuff where you need to do damage with your backline ranged units, and this will add a lot of damage towards them. So, what it says is, at 3 seconds in the battle and every 25 thereafter, summon a Sky Totem that adds 30% bonus lightning damage to the basic attacks of nearby non-hero, non-dragon units. It will last 15 seconds, and the further it goes, the interval is reduced and bonus damage is increased. However, the 3rd star hero bonus, when the hero's health drops below 30%, the Sky Totem will explode, granting its power to the hero by making it invincible for 3 seconds. So, getting advanced artifacts like this and upgrading them to the places where they would get the invincibility is quite important, especially for an artifact that has 2 uses. One, which will make your PvE better and your event scores better, and 2, it will make the hero invincible, which will in a sense help you quite a bit in PvP and help you out with formations, because sometimes you want to put a hero in a place where it's kind of risky, but then that hero dying will give a morale boost to the entire enemy field. However, if you would place that hero with a 3-star artifact, you might use that 3-second window or whatever, and you might not get your hero killed rather quickly or at all, you know? There are stuff like this, it will help with formations quite a bit, and it will help your hero to survive quite a bit. I mean, in many cases, if your field is getting overrun, this will do nothing. However, there are some bits and pieces where people can use it quite well and use it quite well in PvP and formation. However, there are a lot of different artifacts that you can use. So for example, even this Nectar of Life, I made it 3-star because this was my first one that I have purchased. So I made it to 3 because whenever the wearer heals another hero, both heroes will receive a damage mitigation bonus for the duration of the battle. So, why would you want to upgrade this? So, she's healing every few seconds all friendly heroes for a percentage of their health lost, so she's giving a lot of damage mitigation to, let's say, those heroes which are in the front line, which are, again, gladiators, paladins, even rogues like Basric. So those materials, the more you get them, then you're going to upgrade more artifacts, and in a sense your heroes will become more powerful. However, this is not something that you should insanely focus from early to mid game. And the reason for that is the Prism artifacts. As a small spender or a free-to-play, you're not going to get insane amounts of Linari. Like now I have 9,000, but I have spent too much Linari on the lucky wheel, and I don't think I will be able to get 22 to 24,000 in just 2 weeks. Now I'm not entirely sure, maybe I will if I perform better for the city destruction events, maybe get like top 3 or whatever, and then there's gonna be a few other events. However, the golden game board is insanely more important than the lucky wheel, because the lucky wheel, yes, you will increase a little bit, but it's not an insane boost as, let's say, getting a true prism such as true emerald, true ruby, or true amethyst. So for instance, quite a lot of people around my power, they don't have a true emerald, and what it says, on level 7 increases attack and health of friendly units, including dragons, by almost 6%, and then the hero bonus increases attack and health of all friendly heroes by almost 17%. And the other buffs are even insanely more overpowered than this, so if I can find something like Basric, right, I have True Ruby called the Devastating Shrine. Basic attacks deal true damage equivalent to 1% of the health the target has already lost. So if Bajrik is in the front line, he's also going to do more damage. He has 42% more attack. His artifacts are granting him more attack. The equipment are granting him also attack speed, and all those kinds of bonuses. And for me, at around the mid-game of, let's say, the realm, or rather I would call it, he already has almost 300,000 attack, and this is not even buffed by dragon or draconic talents. For example, I see quite a lot of people having almost 300,000 just buffed by their, let's say, dragon talents or whatever. For me, this Bajrik is unbuffed, and whenever I do upgrade my dragon, this hero is going to skyrocket in damage. So this is what I mean. You should prioritize saving your Linari. You should prioritize patience, because quite a lot of players don't have patience and they want things now. Similar to me and me getting the skin. So what I meant by I will show or talk about it later, I had 80 pulls, right? And on 80 there is a breakthrough and stuff like that. So I thought about stopping at 80 and I did not have a skin. However, I was playing another game and I lost in that game, so I was like, man, I know I'm not going to get the skin, but yeah, like, you know, frick it, I will just do it, and maybe, you know, I'm just gonna get some more Thurgic stones, so at least I will increase something. So I ended up getting, I think, X5 of these Thurgic shards. I got some Draconic Dust, which I also needed, and then I see in the middle the skin for the Balrog. And I didn't believe what I saw. I thought I was like dreaming or something, you know, but then I really saw the skin and I was like, what the hell, man? And it kind of made my evening, and I know I was extremely lucky. So I don't think it's going to happen to a lot of players or a lot of people, but in a sense, that Linari that I spent here, which was like 15 to 16,000, it wasn't, let's say, a complete waste, because I got the skin, and the skin will make my gladiator hero a lot more powerful whenever I invest into him, probably 6 to 12 months from now. And if you're not going to play that kind of amount, and the reason for me saying that amount is easily explained, because whenever you go into research, the skin will more or less need to be worked around with the your hero researches, your hero masteries, your prisms, your artifacts, your equipment. Everything will be buffed with, let's say, the skin. So the more health your Balrog will have, the more health the skin will give you. And as you can see, I'm not using it at the moment. He's 26. At the moment, I don't have a place for him in the formation that I have built, but perhaps, you know, sometime in the future I may change one gladiator with another, or change one, let's say, other hero and just add another gladiator. We'll see what happens. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to give my opinion towards like this event and whether people should spend insane amounts of Linari as, let's say, free-to-play or low spenders. And in a sense, sure, you can get a little bit stronger, sure you need these lucky equipment chests and runes if you're on the very early game. However, the Prism stones from the golden game board or even Finder's Keepers are a lot more useful than the stuff that you are able to get here. So if you would be pulling this, you would be pulling this mainly for the reasons of getting these flawless equipment, which can give your heroes +1 to skills, perhaps for new materials for each new feature added, and these advanced materials for your artifacts. And most other stuff would just be, you know, a bonus, and even the skin is a bonus. I mean, sure, you get the skin, you are excited, you are happy, you're ecstatic, but the skin does almost nothing to you, and it's just like visuals and not that much use. So personally, I would prefer to have value over, you know, just visuals, and the value can come in Prism or the value can come in the shape of advanced dragon skills, which make these dragons or your field insanely more powerful. So this was just like, a heads up. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and stay safe out there.